Hello guys, and thank you so much for coming to this video. Today I actually was successfully able to record a match in which I cleared the EX challenge for Erika. In this case, it's going to be solo. I used just NPCs to help me out throughout the battle, and at first I just came in to VeryHard mode to see how difficult it was, but when I came to realize that I almost made it, I decided to start just, I guess, playing differently with my team so that see how far I could get. And it turns out that it is possible to solo it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start the video, but just be mindful and understand that while I was recording this video, there was other sounds going around, so it's better if I can just speak and tell you what's going on, because there are a lot of things that you may not understand just from watching the video, because the game and the way that you play with bots or NPCs, it has a mechanical way. So for example, one thing that you must know, and this is something that you need to be able to clear this, is that by you targeting, without even attacking, by you targeting or touching a Pokemon that you want to attack, the two NPCs will start attacking that target, regardless if you're attacking the target. As long as you have it selected, the ally NPCs will prioritize attacking that target. Now, that is very important because you want them to focus their attention on the specific characters so you get rid of them, of course. Now, the reason why I chose to get rid of the two flowers on the side, left and right, it's because they deal more damage than Vileplume. So Vileplume, it's like a very tankish Pokemon, and his power it's low. So I chose to attack the ones on the side. Now, while I was doing this run, I was checking to see the damage from Flame Wheel and the damage from Flamethrower, because they're different. The base damage is different, but you also have to play the attack that you have, the special attack that you have, the physical defense that the enemy has, and the special resistance that they have. So at the end, what I do is just spam Flame Wheel until the Unity attack becomes available. Now, because I was able to use X Speed All 2 times, I actually can spam this ability until I get my sync ability. Okay, so it's very important that you get your sync ability before Vileplume does his sync ability. The reason is that once you cast it, once you use it, you will get your first star, which will increase your stats by 50%. So you want to have that on, because the earlier that you get it, the more damage you will be able to mitigate from the enemy. Now, there are a lot of things that people don't pay attention to. For example, if you are poisoned, you will not get damage from the poison unless you attack. So, for example, if you have 2 points of HP, this is just an example. If you have 2 points of HP, if you attack, you're gonna die. So you could either choose to soak in or take a hit, even a sync ability, and tank it or take it with those 2 HP points, or choose to attack. Now, Arcanine is not well known for having the highest attack in the game, so you're not gonna get a lot from attacking. So I rather not attack, gain some gouge slots, so that my next Pokemon can have a better play. For example, right there, if you attack, you get poisoned. You get hit by poison. Now, if you use your buffs, you do not get hit by the poison. That's very important. For example, if Infernape right here gets poisoned and I use We're on Fire or Deer Hit, he will not be hit by the poison. However, if I use Fire Punch, if I use Fire Blast, I will be hit regardless if those abilities hit the enemy or not. For example, I could use Fire Blast and miss, and I wouldn't be able to survive because the poison damage will still take effect. Now, another thing, you also have to be mindful and be conscious of the abilities that you use to attack the enemy. Because, for example, Vileplume is very well known because he has lots of special defense. So, I rather attack his physical defense with Fire Punch than Fire Blast. Although Fire Blast is very powerful, it has a higher chance of missing. And in a battle like this, I'm not willing to do or have that gamble, because if anything goes wrong, you lose a complete match. Now, once you play with this team, I'm not gonna say that 100% of the time you're gonna clear the stage, because it takes a few tries. Luckily, the first time that I cleared it, I was able to actually get another item drop, which was pretty good. Now, if I could say how often it works, it's probably once or twice every 5 times or 5 tries, because you must focus the targeting accordingly. And for example, if you are switching targets, the NPC players that you have with you, they're not gonna attack the one with the lowest SP just to kill it off. They're going to focus on the one that you have selected, regardless if you're attacking that Pokemon or not. So that is very important. You have to play with that targeting system. Now, the reason why I leave my fighter until the end, it's because usually when I get to this point, I have no gouge bars or small gouge bars. So what I do is I use it's all down to this so that I can regain some slots so that I can attack, because I need something to be able to attack. If you don't have this Pokemon right here, because it's someone that I pulled from the gacha, I think, although I have not tried, that you can use Lucario instead. He has more defense and more attack, so that should be possible. Now, the only reason why I chose this one is because he has the ability to regain gouge bars. Okay, so that's the only reason why I did it like that. Okay, so as you can see here, this is solid proof that VeryHard extreme challenges can be soloed. And to be honest, and I'm not trying to be offensive against anybody, but I find it easier to play with NPCs on my side than regular players, because NPCs do what it's right. They use right opportunities when there should be taken. For example, every single time that I try to do this with other people, they bring a superior, they bring let's say Alola Raichu, and the thing is that they think that because they're bringing their strongest Pokemons or their story meta, that they're gonna be useful. However, this is not the case. When you fight in these VeryHard extreme courses, you're not gonna aim for those pretty 5 stars that you have in your vault. You're going to actually utilize utility. Find Pokemon that would actually help the team. For example, when I fight against Rosa, I always bring the fighter that can use Brick Break, because it breaks those two barriers that she creates, she has an ability that is called Shields Up, and it's both shields. It's like having Reflect, and the other one I don't even recall, Light Screen, Reflect and Light Screen at the same time. So what I do is I just break it and then switch to a different Pokemon so that I can dish out some damage or have some utility, something, right? It's all about knowing what to do, because for example, if I bring Superior instead of having Brick Break, I mean, I wouldn't be doing anything. And if you have your sync ability available, a lot of people waste it on Pokemon that do not have any special attack or do not have any attack on its own. It's always better if you buff yourself before you use your ability. And for example, for Arcanine, the reason why you want to use your sync ability before Vileplume as well, it's because once Vileplume uses his sync ability, although Arcanine it's protected against having his speed reduced, somehow it happens here. In VeryHard, it gets reduced. I don't know why, but it gets reduced. Hence, it reduces the damage from your sync ability, because the sync ability of Arcanine, the more speed that you have, the higher the damage. Although it's not very hard, it's like 900 damage, but if you use it after you have been debuffed, you usually just deal like 600, 500 damage. So that's not as impactful as doing it when you have the X speed up. So guys, again, this is solid proof. It's because some people did not believe me when I told them, oh yeah, I was able to clear it with NPCs, and I actually started to farm it. It's not 100% or bulletproof that it will work, but as you can see here, it is possible. You just have to guide those NPCs. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you were able to learn anything from the video, and have a very good night.